Hungarian Folk Tales. The Rich Man's 3 Sons. Once upon a time, there lived a rich man. One day, one of the rich man's farms burned to the ground, and nothing was left but a pile of smoking embers. The rich man had made his fortune as a moneylender, and one of his unhappy borrowers had burned his home down. The rich man felt terribly sad, and not even the priest could comfort him, as he was sure the man would eventually go to hell because of the cruel way he had made money all his life. That may well be true, the rich man thought. But if someone should burn down my other farm, how will my 3 sons survive? The rich man thought and thought about this until he decided to find all 3 a job. He made the eldest son a soldier because he was very bright. He made the middle son a blacksmith's apprentice. And then he spoke to the youngest of his 3 sons and said, "I think you will make a fine barber, son of mine." The youngest son had no objections, and all 3 agreed to do their father's bidding, as anything was better than working the land. The eldest liked the idea of marching around with a silver sword by his side, while the other 2 were happy that they would not have to hoe or mow now that they had proper trades. The years passed by, and the rich man became old, although he had never been a young man, and he spent all his time thinking how he could one day avoid hell's fiery furnace that had been promised to him by the priest. But the rich man's 3 sons did not have a care in the world. His son the soldier danced his days away, while his son the blacksmith and the barber spent all their days making merry. Then the day came when the sons received a letter saying that they should all 3 return home at once because their father's days were numbered, and he wanted to see his sons. So all 3 sons journeyed home and thought they would soon inherit a fortune from their rich father. When they arrived, the rich man asked his son the soldier, "Well, my son, what manner of soldier have you become?" "Well, my father, the emperor has no finer soldier than I, and I wield a silver sword like no other. The other day, it began to rain while we were on parade, and all the other soldiers got wet, but not I, because I drew my sword and span it around so swiftly above my head that I remained dry." The rich man nodded. "I'm glad, my son, that you have become such a fine soldier, and I have no need to worry about your fortune." Then he asked the middle son, "And you, my son, how do you fare as a blacksmith?" "Well, my father, there's no finer blacksmith in this land or any other beyond its borders. Only yesterday, a coach passed by the smithy, drawn by 4 grey horses. The lord driving the coach said that all 4 horses needed reshoeing, but he had no time to stop. My master stood and scratched his head, but while he stood there, I swiftly shoed all 4 horses, and the coach did not have to stop for a single second." The rich man also noted his middle son's words. "You are indeed a master of your trade, my son, and I have no need to worry about your fortune. And you, my youngest son, are you also a master of your trade?" "You ask me if I'm a master barber, father? Well, nothing proves it better than the fact that I shaved a rabbit clean while it was running yesterday, and I did not cut its soft skin once." The rich man also noted his youngest son's words and then spoke to all three. I see, my sons, that you all have the skill to make your own fortunes, and you have no need of mine. And so now I can use all of my money to pay myself out of hell's fiery furnace. Then the rich man called the priest, gave him all his money, and told him to give it to the poor. So the rich man's 3 sons were given nothing for their pains and ran away, never to return. Hungarian Folk Tales. The Hen and the Slowberry. Once upon a time, there lived an old woman. And the old woman had 1 hen and 1 cockerel. One day the hen was pecking in the bushes when she found a single slowberry. The hen tried hard to swallow the slowberry, but it stuck in her throat. The hen rushed to the cockerel and asked him to fetch her some water because she was sure she would soon choke on the slowberry. So the cockerel ran to the well and said, "Well, give me some water. I'll take the water to the hen because she's sure she will choke on the slowberry." The well said, "I will give you some water if you fetch me a green branch." So the cockerel ran to the tree and said, "Tree, give me a green branch. I'll take the branch to the well will give me water. I'll take the water to the hen because she's sure she will soon choke on the slowberry." The tree said, "I will give you a green branch if you bring me a wreath." So the cockerel ran to the wreath maker and said, "Wreath maker, give me a wreath. I'll take the wreath to the tree will give me a green branch. I'll take the branch to the well will give me water. I'll take the water to the hen because she's sure she will choke on the slowberry." The wreath maker said, "I will give you a wreath if you bring me a pair of shoes." So the cockerel went to the cobbler and said, "Cobbler, give me a pair of shoes. I'll take the shoes to the wreath maker will give me a wreath. I'll take the wreath to the tree will give me a branch. I'll take the branch to the well will give me water. I'll take the water to the hen because she's sure she will choke on the slowberry. I'll give you a pair of shoes if you bring me some glue." So the cockerel ran to the cat and said, "Cat, give me some glue. Then I'll take the glue to the cobbler will give me a pair of shoes. I'll take the shoes to the wreath maker will give me a wreath. I'll take the wreath to the tree will give me a branch. I'll take the branch to the well will give me water. I'll take the water to the hen because she's sure she will choke on the slowberry." The cat said, "I will give you glue if you bring me some milk." So the cockerel ran to the cow and said, "Cow, give me some milk. Then I'll take the milk to the cat will give me some glue. I'll take the glue to the cobbler will give me a pair of shoes. I'll take the shoes to the wreath maker will give me a wreath. I'll take the wreath to the tree will give me a branch. I'll take the branch to the well will give me water. And I'll take the water to the hen because she's sure she will choke on the slowberry." The cow said, "I will give you some milk if you bring me some hay." So the cockerel ran to the reaper and said, "Reaper, give me some hay." I'll take the hay to the cow will give me the milk. I'll take the milk to the cat will give me some glue. I'll take the glue to the cobbler will give me a pair of shoes. I'll take the shoes to the wreath maker will give me a wreath. I'll take the wreath to the tree will give me a branch. I'll take the branch to the well will give me water. I'll take the water to the hen, because she's sure she will choke on the slowberry. The reaper said, I will give you some hay if you bring me some bread. So the cockerel ran to the farmer's wife and said, Farmer's wife, give me some bread. I'll take the bread to the reaper will give me some hay. I'll take the hay to the cow will give me milk. I'll take the milk to the cat will give me glue. I'll take the glue to the cobbler will give me shoes. I'll take the shoes to the wreath maker will give me a wreath. I'll take the wreath to the tree will give me a branch. I'll take the branch to the well will give me water. I'll take the water to the hen, because she's sure she will choke on the slowberry. The farmer's wife said, I will give you some bread if you bring me some firewood. So the cockerel ran to the forest, collected some firewood, and took it to the farmer's wife. Then the farmer's wife gave him some bread, and he took the bread to the reaper. The reaper gave him some hay, and he took the hay to the cow. The cow gave him some milk, and he took the milk to the cat. The cat gave him some glue, and he took the glue to the cobbler. The cobbler gave him a pair of shoes, and he took the shoes to the wreath maker. The wreath maker gave him a wreath, and he took the wreath to the tree. The tree gave him a branch, and he took the branch to the well. The well gave him some water, and he took the water to the hen. But by then, the hen had surely choked on the slowberry. Hungarian Folk Tales. The Prince Who Wanted to Live Forever. Once upon a time there was a prince. He told his father that he did not want to die. You should know, son, that he who is born will also die. But the prince insisted that he did not want to die. I'll go to Foreverland. There's no such place, my son. Yes, there is. I've heard of it. Very well then, go. The prince prepared himself and wandered for many years until he came to a high mountain. He regarded the mountain and saw something at its very peak. It looked as small as a sparrow. Well, if he had come all this way, he simply had to find out what it was. It took him years to scale the mighty mountain. There he found a huge giant. He greeted the giant, and the giant returned his greeting. What are you doing here, Prince? I'm looking for Foreverland. Could you tell me which way to go? Of course, you've arrived. Stay here with me because the Queen of Foreverland will send you here anyway. I'd like to talk to the Queen myself. Please tell me which way to go from here. There's a large forest over there. If you cross it, you'll find her. The prince went off to find the forest. There he came upon a magnificent palace. And there he found a kindly woman sewing in one of the rooms. What are you looking for, Prince? The Queen, of course. Well, don't go any further, because she will send you here anyway. Stay with me, and we can talk. But I wish to talk to the Queen herself. You cannot get in to see her, because you have to go through 3 iron gates, and each is guarded by 3 wild beasts. But if you don't want to stay here, I'll give you 3 bread buns. Should the animals attack you at the gates, give them a bun, and the iron gates will open. And so it all happened. When the 3rd iron gate opened up, the prince saw the queen was standing in the middle of a courtyard. She asked the prince what had brought him to her palace. "I've come looking for you." "Then stay here with me." And the prince stayed. Time went by, and one day the prince said to the queen, "Listen, I'd like to go home. I left my old parents behind, and I'd like to see how they are." The queen laughed. "Being a prince has not made you any wiser. How many years do you think you've been here? 3 years? You've been here for 3,000 years, but I won't keep you from going if you really want to. I'll give you a pair of shoes. Take them with you. A man will attack you. Tell him you'll go with him and then put on these shoes." So the prince set off, and he wandered and wandered until he reached a town. But the town was no longer the same as it had been. He asked a few people if they knew the king by such and such a name. No, nobody knew him. He asked the oldest-looking man who was the oldest man in town. The man showed him the house where a 300-year-old man lived. The prince went to see him. "Do you remember my father, old man?" "Oh, my son, I've never even heard of him." As night fell, the prince found himself a room, made himself a bed out of hay, and went to sleep. In the morning, he woke up with a man standing right in front of him. "Hail, Prince! I've been looking for you for 3,000 years, and now I've found you. Come with me because you ought to have died a long time ago." "Wait a minute, let me put on these shoes. Let's go out, and then I'll go with you." When the prince put on the shoes, they whizzed him away at once. Death rushed after him everywhere but failed to catch the prince. When the prince reached the walls of the queen's palace, the queen of Foreverland was standing there in the courtyard. She shouted to Death, "Don't you touch that man. I'll go out and take care of him. I'll throw him up high, and if he falls outside the walls, he'll be yours. But if he falls within the walls, he'll be mine." When the king threw the prince up high, Death danced and clapped, thinking that he was going to fall outside. But as it happened, he landed within the walls. The queen then chased Death away, telling him never to return to her land again, otherwise he would surely die himself. So the prince stayed with the queen, and they both lived happily ever after.